Hi, you're watching TechCrunch TV. My name is Colleen Taylor. Joining me via Skype is Daniel Epstein, who's the founder of the Unreasonable Institute and Unreasonable at Sea. Now, Daniel, it looks like you could just be in some, office in Palo Alto, but you are somewhere much more exotic right now. Can you tell me what's going on?
Yes. Well, first off, thank you so much for having us, Colleen. Right now, I'm Skyping in from a ship where we're hosting the program Unreasonable at Sea. We're just over halfway through this voyage. We're sailing about 25,000 nautical miles around the world into 13 countries. And we just left Mauritius. And over the course of the next 6 days, we'll be sailing down towards Cape Town, South Africa. So it's been one heck of a voyage. We just crossed the equator, which is why I'm bald. It's a naval tradition is to shave your head when you cross the equator.
Is it? Okay. How many people shave their heads on the boat? Or the ship, I guess.
A lot. A lot of people shave their heads on the ship. I would say a couple dozen. So I'm certainly not alone, which is nice. But it's interesting walking around the different classes and running workshops, and half of the guys are bald.
Right. And so can you tell me, because we've talked to you before, about this mission before you guys departed. And one key thing that I remember was that halfway through, everyone had the option, if it wasn't working out for them, to peace out. They keep all their equity, no longer be part of the program, no strings attached. Has anyone walked away yet?
Yeah, that's a great question. We really wanted to, as a tech accelerator, hold ourselves accountable to those we're serving, the entrepreneurs. And so we made a decision that halfway through the voyage, 50 days into it, when we reached Burma, that if the entrepreneurs didn't think the experience was worth it, they could step off at the halfway point. We'd cover the cost of their flight back home to their home countries, and they would owe us absolutely no equity. They wouldn't pay a penny for the program. So it was a big risk, but we felt like it was the appropriate one. And amazingly, every company that was on the ship when we reached Burma stayed on the ship. So all of the companies have stuck with the program, and we're sailing the second half now together.
Cool. And are there any trends you're seeing? I mean, what kinds of companies are really, taking shape here? What's working, what's not?
Yeah, absolutely. So for us, I think there's two things that really differentiate Unreasonable at Sea from other tech accelerators, and it's not that we're on a ship going around the world. One is the stage of the companies that we're working with. 8 of the 11 companies we're working with are already profitable. Most of them have scale in multiple countries, and they've come on this ship sailing around the world because they want to scale internationally faster, and they really want to take their products globally quicker. So it's a much later stage accelerator. And then the second side is that all the companies we work with are geared towards impact. They're trying to solve these seemingly intractable social and environmental challenges, whether that's using nanotechnology to sequester carbon out of the atmosphere profitably, or one of the companies provides clean drinking water to 250,000 people every single day. And so for us, it's a different breed of companies. So the trends that we're seeing are, I think, unusual, which is we're working with startups that are moving into new markets. And we've actually seen a number of them strike up relationships with both investors and distributors, local partners, to actually launch their operations in new markets and in new countries, which honestly was something that I didn't know if it was going to be possible or not. Because we're only in these ports for 4, 5, 6 days. And it's been amazing to actually see how accelerated that process can be of identifying a new market, finding the capital, finding the relationships to move in there.
Cool. And you guys are also on the ship. You're sharing the ship with the folks from Semester at Sea, a bunch of students. Yeah. Has there been any interaction there? What's the dynamic like?
Yeah, there's been an incredible amount of interaction. So we have 11 technology companies on the ship as part of the Unreasonable program, and then we have about 20 mentors. But there are also about 630 college students from 250 universities who are sailing around the world with us, and us with them. And I think that any innovation ecosystem, any kind of high-caliber startup ecosystem always is tied to an academic institution. Ours just so happens to be Semester at Sea on this ship, and the interactions have been far grander than I would have anticipated. We're teaching one of the largest courses on the ship. It's on entrepreneurship and design thinking. The case studies are our companies, and there are 100 students enrolled in the class, but 200 show up every single day, and they're actually working with our companies as they scale into these new markets. We have, some of our ventures like One Earth Designs. They have the world's most efficient solar concentrator. They have 45 students on the ship who are interning with them right now actively. Another company, Aquaphytex, they have 33 students actively interning with them. So there's been an amazing kind of cross fertilization, I would say, between the students and the entrepreneurs, and the value add goes both ways, because these entrepreneurs are also mentoring these students who are in many ways, this next generation of entrepreneurs themselves.
That's good. It's good. You got to put those students to work. It's not all fun and games on this semester at sea. That sounds like you guys are really taking advantage. That's good. It sounds like everything's going as planned in a lot of ways. That all sounds great. You guys didn't get attacked by pirates, in the Indian Ocean anywhere.
Nope.
You've safely made it through there. But has anything happened? What's been the most unexpected thing?
Honestly, the most unexpected thing is what we just talked about, which was the collaboration with the students. I walked into this program believing that the value add was clearly there from our entrepreneurs to the students, that the entrepreneurs would provide a lot of inspiration for the students on the ship. It's been amazing, though, to see our ventures actually recruit students onto their team, and not just as interns. I actually think that we're going to see a lot of hires throughout this experience. So that's probably been most unexpected. I would have never imagined that the companies would have 45 interns. And the other thing that's unexpected is that I can Skype video chat you right now, 1,000 miles off the coast of South Africa. We were terrified about what the satellite connection would be like on the ship, because we're working with tech startups, and our mentors are, for the most part, all tech entrepreneurs and investors as well. And the internet's been phenomenal. So somehow the satellite system on this ship is really, really working to our advantage.
That's great. That's really key. So you guys are just a bit more than halfway through here. Tell me what you're looking forward to. What do you still have ahead?
Yeah, it's awesome. So we have a lot ahead. So we hit South Africa in, I guess, 6 or 7 days, and we're throwing 2 national events in port. One is actually we're going to be going into the slums and working with girls and working on entrepreneurial solutions. And kind of teaching them the design thinking methodology, which is something we haven't done. We'll have about 100, 150 girls there, and we're partnering with the Girl Effect and a couple other folks to do that. The second one, though, is a national pitch event and investor gathering, and so that's on day 2, and then we'll be partnering with the embassy to have a reception as well. And so I say that just as one example in Cape Town. We do the same thing in Ghana. We'll do the same thing in Morocco. We'll have a big event then in Spain, and then we're in conversations right now about hosting kind of a global culminated event back in DC with the State Department. So we have a lot to look forward to in terms of the national events that we're hosting in each of these countries with the startup ecosystem in these countries. At the same rate, we have a lot to look forward to on the ship. The mentors who will be joining us from, Matt Mullenweg from WordPress, founder of WordPress, he's joining us in South Africa. Prince Fahad of Saudi Arabia, who ran U.S. Arab operations for Facebook and really brought Facebook into the Arab world. He'll be joining us in South Africa. We just had 2 more mentors jump on the ship. One of them started 10 companies. 3 of them IPO'd over $1 billion. So we have these incredible mentors who are joining us for the remainder of the voyage. And I think that time on the ship with those mentors is incredibly exciting. I think the time in port will provide a lot of relationships and traction. Clearly, I'm a little bit of an optimist, and I'm just excited about the program because it seems like the experiment is really panning out in better ways than we could have imagined. So a lot to look forward to.
Okay, last question here. Any crucial item or tip for anyone else who's looking to maybe work on their startup at sea? What's something that you really need?
You need to have an incredible team. Like an unbelievable team. So we have, each of our companies, they have 2 to 3 team members on the ship, but all of them have operational teams back in other countries that are running the business actively while their founders are on the ship. And that only works if there's an amazing amount of trust between the team on the ground and the team who's on the ship looking to kind of scale the operations. I'd say the second thing is wear a lot of sunscreen. A lot of sunburnt now, like right on the top of our heads. But beyond that, life is it's not too different living on a ship, to be honest. I've been amazed at how easy it was to adjust everything.
Yeah, cool. That's the sunscreen tip was what I was really looking for. I was thinking maybe Dramamine, sunscreen, polarized sunglasses, stuff like that. But sounds good. Well, Daniel, thank you so much. Thank you so much for Skyping in. And take care. Good luck. Stay safe. We'll check back
Yeah,
in with
we
you
will,
when you
we will.
dock.
Bye.
Okay.
Look forward to it. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.